when the smoke clears and the dust is settled, and when we look back at this air, it won't be favorable. Let's talk about it. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Skinny Hardaway, and this is Retro Heat Check. Checking in one more time for the real hoop heads out there. And as always, thank you all for your likes, your shares, your subscriptions, your comments, and your questions. Keep your questions coming, man. Q&A segment each and every Wednesday. Well, I'll be sitting here answering your questions. Keep them coming. I may not answer them this Wednesday. Maybe next Wednesday. You never know. But just keep them coming, and I will eventually get to it. So thank you all. Thank you all for that. Man, we just cracked 300 subscriptions this Friday. We're already nearing 330. So, man, thank you all. Thank you all for the support. Thank you all for taking a chance. I'm definitely humbled, definitely shocked and surprised. Surprised I even got to this stage of the channel. Just seems like just yesterday I was talking and basically just talking to myself. So it's definitely a humbling experience and definitely man, it is definitely a joyous occasion to say that I have 300 subscribers. That's definitely a blessing. And that's all because of you guys. So thank you all for holding it down and taking a chance on your boy. Appreciate you. And as always, you already know what time it is. It's time for us to shout out to the squad. You already know what that is, man. These are my brothers in arms. I stand up for these guys. I rock with these guys. I support these guys. I got these guys back. Most of you guys know these guys. If you're not familiar with any of these guys that I'm naming, get down with them. Subscribe to these guys. Check them out. Give them a chance. Support them. I support them. I hope that my hoop heads support them as well, because they support me in return. So yeah, definitely check these guys out, man. These guys stand on truth, integrity. They have a standard. There's honor amongst these brothers. Man, it's they're entertaining. They're informative. I mean, they know their stuff. They know their hoops. You know, it's you can't get past them in a lot of ways. You just can't get past them. These guys stand on truth, and when you stand on truth, nothing can stop you. So, yeah, definitely shout out to these brothers right here, to the squad. Shout out Sports and Fitness Rants, my brother, Uncommon Sense, Scap Attack, Too Raw for Sports TV, Uncut Hoops, Angry Hoops, NNB Sports TV, Michael Jordan Fans Are the Best, Kobe Bryant Film Room, Prince Sports, Man Down Sports, Phenomenal Fitness, my guy, my brother, Dreamers Pro TV, Ticket TV, Geechee Life Sports Talk. Check that brother out, man. Good brother right there. Shekel Storm NBA, one of the newest. Guy's real hilarious. Check him out, man. Real funny dude. Got a different style. Got a, you know, but it's kind of a comedic flair. How he delivers. But yeah, it's very entertaining. Check him out, man. Check him out, y'all. Jordan versus LeBron. Definitely got to give shouts to him. The Real Mind Crime. Shout out to this guy. This guy's real cool, real informative. He has a real I don't know, he has that real AM sports talk vibe, you know, when I listen to his his channel, man. He has kind of like an AM sports talk radio type of vibe. Definitely shout out to him. And also welcome in the latest into the squad. NBA Facts self research. This guy right here, pure, unadulterated, 100%, no cut facts. Beat you upside the head with them. He's either going to beat you upside the head with them, or he's going to confirm and tuck you right in bed with some good facts to sleep on. Good brother, solid brother, comes with the facts. Very informative. When I listen to him, I definitely pick up even more knowledge than what I'm already armed with. You're always if you're smart, you always want to learn from everything and everyone that you come across. So I definitely have learned. I picked up a few more facts along the way dealing with this brother. So I hope you guys check him out. Welcome. And you already know what it is, my hoop heads. It's time for us to open up them doors and welcome on in the latest members of the Hoophead Haven. As you all know, the Hoophead Haven, a global basketball community filled with like-minded individuals who like real hoops, want real hoops back, and we talk sneakers, we talk playoff, we're talking playoffs right now because the playoffs is hot right now. We talk about everything pretty much here in the Hoophead Haven, but mainly we just vibe. We you know what I'm saying, when we see a LeBron fan, when we see a LaFan we go ahead on and check them, get them on out of here. LaFan boys, nameless, faceless, you don't get shine over here. You never will. And if you see one, check them. Let them know what it is. But without further ado, let's welcome in the latest into the Hoophead Haven. Explosive Hot Dogs, Jay Martinez, Clarissa Westbrook, Import Al, Ralston Robinson, and John Pettit. Welcome. And shout outs to you guys. And welcome to the Hoophead Haven. Definitely, it's your space now, man. It's your space. Feel free to interact with me, interact with the other fellow hoop heads. Hey, you see, and if you, like I said, if you see a fanboy, check them, get them up out of here. You already know. But I hope you guys enjoy your stay in the Hoophead Haven. Thank you all for your support and your subscription. Thank you for taking a chance. You already know. Appreciate you guys. But let's get down to business. Let's get on down to the business. Get to the subject at hand. Ah, man. We're seeing it already. We're seeing a shift already within the NBA, but there are still a few relics still hanging on. We've seen Steph get eliminated in the play-in. We saw KD last night getting swept, getting put out the playoffs once again. What else is new? And another key figure of this era, in this transitioning era, the era that we're transitioning from, the main man, the main character, the lead character, he's still hanging on by a thread, he was facing a sweep, now he's facing a gentleman's sweep. And that's LeBron James against the Denver Nuggets. I just really don't think that, me personally, I don't think that the Lakers win. I think that they got their one win and that's it. You know, you had your one shining moment and now it's over with. It's time for Joker and company to just go ahead on, send these boys on down to Cancun. You know, LeBron can fake an injury or fake retirement, whatever he wants to do in the meantime. But hey, as long as they out of here, that's it's good for me. I think it's good for basketball. It's good for all hoop heads all around the world. But this era that we just seen, I truly believe that this era is probably I don't even want to say probably, it is the worst era in NBA history. It is definitely it's definitely a, yeah, they say it's bigger, stronger, faster, but I think that we became weak mentally during this era. I think that this era became more AAU basketball versus true competitiveness. I truly believe that there was no competitive balance within the league. Um, these players were cheating the game. These players were not respecting the game. And I think that the fans are finally starting to, um, let their voices be heard, and their views and their wallets are starting to are starting to take shape. Now the NBA is definitely still a multi-billion-dollar company, but its life's blood is its fans. And when you alienate the fan base, when you alienate those that have patronized your product for years, some of us decades, um, and then to all of a sudden be slapped across the face with the players that we have dealt with in this past era, it's truly an insult. I mean, this era will not be looked favored upon um, in the annals of time. I think that once it's all settled and all said and done, and you look at and you open up the NBA's history, I think that this era right here will be the league's black eye. I definitely believe it, because everything that was built and cultivated between the 80s and the 90s, culminating in its zenith, with spreading the game globally, thanks to the Olympic team, thanks to the Dream Team, thanks to players like Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, Penny Hardaway, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, on and on and on and on and on. Players, a plethora of players from the 90s era. Man, I definitely feel that all that goodwill that was cultivated by David Stern, uh, with his leadership. I still think that he is the greatest commissioner of all sports, past and present. I don't think that no commissioner has done what David Stern has done to grow the league, and for the new commissioner and his protege Adam Silver, for him to basically, um, for lack of a better word, take a shit on everything that he's built, is truly an insult, because he's truly let the players run the league, and they ran the league literally into the ground. Um, these players don't care. These players want the glory of winning, but they don't want to put in the hard work that entails being a champion. I mean, hence with all the super teams. That's where all the that's that you know that it begins and ends with the super teams. Um, started by LeBron and D Wade and Chris Bosh colluding in the off season, after watching Kobe Bryant basically show the league how it's done, to put a team on his back and drag them through a rough Western Conference, and they were able to defeat the rival Boston Celtics with their big three. Well, actually their big four, with Rajon Rondo, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and Kevin Garnett, who was actually built through trades and not through free agency. And these players, the Boston players, were a little bit older. They weren't in their primes. They were kind of on the tail end of their primes when they got together, and they were basically heading into the twilights of their careers. Um, but when you see LeBron James, D Wade, and Chris Bosh in Miami, I think that kicked off an era that basically destroyed the competitive balance within the NBA. Basically, they had shown the league that a shortcut can be achieved if you just force it just the right way. You can pretty much force whatever that you want done. The league and these owners and the commissioner are all complicit and compliant to the destruction of the competitive balance, because they knew exactly what was going on, and they facilitated it with the large contracts, with the finessing of rosters. We ended up having teams such as the Miami Heat, such as the Cleveland Cavaliers, with LeBron, Kevin Love, and Kyrie. Another manipulation by LeBron James. We ended up having the Golden State Warriors, that super team, when they added Kevin Garnett, which was basically a chump move, a sucker move, probably the most cowardly move in NBA history. I think that he will never ever live that down. I think that he is one of the main players that I don't think will be looked at favorably in the long run, in the overall. Now these players will be praised for their skills and their accomplishments and their achievements, but in the overall, I don't think these players will be beloved like the players of say like the early 2000s, the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, on and on. I don't see that. I don't see that, because these players, like with super teams, um, just a terrible example of really going out there and grinding, showing these kids, what hard work looks like. It's not hard work if you can just call up, a couple of the best players in the league and click up and basically create an unfair advantage throughout the league. These players with the load management players such as LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, and on and on and on. These players, who basically, like I said, super entitled. They got their money. They got their second or even third contracts. They got their max money, and now they feel that they can just do whatever they want. And one of the ways that they show that they can do whatever they want is load management. These guys will duck smoke, will come up with a fake injury just to avoid a team that could probably embarrass them, beat them. They would rather sit it out and look cool on the sideline, eating food and on their cell phones, and what I'm saying, doing looking at the chicks, checking out what chicks are in the stands. They're doing everything but being in the game, and there's nothing wrong with them. I think that right there really soured a lot of NBA fans, especially the hardworking fans who, they spend their hard earned dollar, working hard. They want to provide an exciting moment and memory for themselves, or maybe their kids or whatever, and get to the arena. They're looking for a certain player, and they get there, and that certain player is in street clothes. Nothing wrong with them, just sitting. I think that's a very disgusting way to disrespect your fans by not playing, not showing up. The players in past decades, yeah, they got paid less, but they gave more. They gave more. They gave their all, and the fans, us as fans, we respected it, we reciprocated, and we understood, and we knew that, man, these guys are really, really doing their thing, and we got our money's worth, we got our viewership worth every night that these guys strapped up. And I think that today's players, they don't have that in them. They do not have that in them. I mean, just think about it. I mean, for real, look at these. Just think about the players, man. Just think about the players of this past era, and really think. Just think of these guys, and really truly, do you think that these guys will be well beloved? Like, just think about it. Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant. Do you really think that Kevin Durant is going to be looked at favorably in the annals of NBA history? Sure, he'll be a top 75. I mean, sure, he'll be a top. Yeah, I think he's a top 75. Sure, he'll be a top 100 player. Sure. But will he be beloved like a Charles Barkley? Will he be looked at favorably like a Magic Johnson? Will he be looked at in awe like a Larry Bird? I don't think so, because he doesn't have what these players have. He's a front runner. He's soft, he's sensitive. He's not a winner. he has to have a team around him of where he doesn't have to shoulder the load. He wants to be able to delegate it amongst other elite players instead of going after these players, instead of wanting to beat these players. He would rather join them. And when he went to Golden State, that just forever sealed his fate as far as one of the most cowardly players in all of sports, not just NBA history, but in all of sports. Um, for him to blow a 3-1 lead to the team that he eventually joins the following year after they just came off of a title. Yeah, super cowardly. I don't think he'll ever be. I don't think that Kevin Garnett will be. Kevin Durant will be looked at favorably. James Harden, he will not be held. He will not be held in high regard, despite the fact that he's won an MVP. Despite the fact that he is, going to be considered a top 100 player. Considering all his individual, statistics and all that stuff, this is a guy who does not love the game. This is a guy who shows up undisciplined. He's fat, out of shape. He's too busy chasing hoes. He's too busy being in the tabloids. He's too busy hugged up on Lil Baby in the nightclubs, in the strip clubs. He wants to be lit all the time instead of being in that gym working on his game. His skill set, yes, he's a great scorer, but some of the ways that he gets there, thanks to the rules with him throwing his body in forcing fouls that way. Thankfully, the league, well, they're kind of getting back to it now. But at one point in time, the league was starting to kind of trying to curtail it, but eventually they gave in. It's a players' league now. But I don't think that James Harden, a guy who will do it all in the regular season, give you, drop 50 on you, drop 40 on you, average 30, scoring titles left and right, but you get him in the playoff scenario, he has no heart. He shrinks. He folds. He shrinks and he folds. Basically, he has no grit. He has no killer instinct. He has no hunger for more. He is fine with being rich, being able to have access to the women that he wants, and the food that he eats. Definitely. Zion Williamson, another guy who fits right into that same category. Another guy who does not love the game, prefers food, and porn stars versus getting in that gym. Now this year, I will say he is much improved. He seems to be a little bit more dedicated, but I think that he needs to put more performances and more seasons like this together before I can really finally get that jacket up off of him. Because for right now, he's going to have to wear that jacket of being lazy, unmotivated, unfocused, not a leader, just a rich, spoiled kid. And that's exactly what Zion Williamson is. That's another player I don't think will look very favorably. Ben Simmons, uh, definitely the poster child of finessing NBA teams for big contracts. This is a guy who's supposed to come in as some kind of unicorn, as some kind of 6'11", 6'11" point guard, scoring machine. They compared him to LeBron James. I mean, it's fitting that a guy who has no heart, no grit, you know, looking for the easy way out would be compared to a LeBron James. I mean, he's definitely this era's Jack Haley. And if you don't know who Jack Haley is, Jack Haley was a bench warmer for the Chicago Bulls during the second three-peat. He was kind of like Dennis Rodman's. I wouldn't say like I wouldn't say like babysitter or anything like that, but he kind of hung. He was kind of like Dennis Rodman's guy. You know what I'm saying? Him and what I'm saying, he was. Excuse me. He would be there with his fancy Armani suits on the sideline, cheering and jumping up and down whenever the Bulls did something, knowing that he was never going to get in the game. But for the simple fact of the matter that he was just going to look sharp in his suits and cheer away. But, Ben Simmons, he doesn't even do that. He just sits there. He just sits on the sideline looking disinterested. Um, he's disinterested. He's more worried about his rivalry with Devin Booker for whatever Kardashian Jenner girl is around at the time. Um, I mean, this is a guy who definitely needs to be out the league, has no place in the league, should not be gaining a contract or receiving funds from the game. He's done nothing. He's done literally nothing to even be granted this grace. Um, he needs to shape up or ship out, and I wish that there was. I wish that there was a kind of a system like that where we can get players like Ben Simmons out of here. Um, a player who is going to be beloved, but I think that because of his play style and for what it did to the game, he will catch a little bit of flack for it, and that is Steph Curry. For all his gifts, for all his, for everything that he's brought to the game. He changed the game. He changed the look of the game. Yes, but he also changed the game for the worst as well, because his volume 3-point shooting, because he's special at that, and that was his specialty. Unfortunately, with the NBA being a copycat league, Steph's style was replicated throughout the league, and now everybody and their mama shoots threes. The big man, and as a result, the big man has been all but erased. The mid-range game has been all but erased. It's either dunks, layups, or threes. And there's really barely in between for every Kawhi Leonard and Devin Booker and DeMar DeRozan, guys who are proficient within the mid-range. You have guys who just bomb away from the 3-point line, some who have no business shooting these shots, but because of analytics and the nerds infiltrating the game instead of the real hoopers, you know what I'm saying? Basically having a sort of balance within the inside outside game. There was always a balance. The big man had his role. The wings had their roles. The point guards had their roles. Um, and there were specialists that were birthed out of these positions. The era of the specialist is gone. The era of the enforcer has been long gone. The era of the defensive stalwart is fading away because they've legislated defense out of the game and emphasize offense, which really has hurt the competitive balance, which really has hurt the balance of the game, and has really hurt viewership because nobody wants to see guys playing half-ass defense and guys just getting you know clear paths to the lane for dunks and layups and all that stuff, and the announcers jumping around and acting like like they didn't seen the second coming of whatever. I think it's truly pathetic. Definitely pathetic. Uh, when you have guys like when we have guys such as a Westbrook who 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 plays so hard, you can see he wants to win. He plays so hard, and he put up some historic numbers. Um, but he won't be looked favorable upon because he did not play with the attitude that was palatable um, for NBA fans. He had an attitude. I personally am a Westbrook fan, but for many NBA fans, he was not their cup of tea for whatever reason. Same with Kyrie. I think Kyrie is. I think he's a great player. I think he's the reason why the Cleveland Cavaliers have a title because he was the one who outshined Steph Curry. He was the one who hit the clutch three that gave them the title. And LeBron James gets all of the glory and all the praise. Kyrie, due to his eccentric and eclectic view of the world and of certain things, he has garnered a lot of dislike from fans and media. Me personally, I like Kyrie. I think Kyrie is an amazing player. I think he's the dopest. He has the dopest handle of all time in the NBA. I think that his layup package is up there with Michael Jordan's. I mean, it's basically copied from Michael Jordan in a lot of these moves. But yeah, I think that he won't be looked favorable upon, even though he has done great things in his career. I don't think that he will be looked upon favorably. And last but not least, and last overall, you already know who is the ringleader of all this crap that we are finally starting to get away from slowly but surely. And I think that is all brought to you by one LeBron James, aka the Flop King, aka LeBrick, aka gentleman sweep on deck. This guy right here is the embodiment of the entitled NBA player. From the moment that he came into the league, um, he went from being a joyous player, a player who you rooted for, a player that you wanted to see succeed, to the player that you see before you now, a selfish, egotistical, emotional, wishy-washy, manipulative, he's basically just, probably one of the most disliked athletes of this century, is one LeBron James. He basically, with cover from Adam Silver, he has been able to maneuver and manipulate and ruin teams, ruin franchises, ruin players, ruin fan relationships, ruin competitive balance. Heck, I mean, it's to the point where, you're just ready for him to leave, because it's like the longer that he plays, the worse that his legacy is. He keeps saying that he's better than Jordan, that he's the greatest of all time. We don't see it. The only people who see it is the little fanboys, but even they're starting to see it, because they see that this guy is not that guy. And I'm going to keep saying that he is not that guy. This is not a winner. This is a front runner. This is a guy who has an AAU mentality. He has a weak mentality. He has no grit. He's scared of the clutch, always looking to point a finger. No leadership skills whatsoever. And for him to be praised and be put upon levels in which he does not qualify for, such as the GOAT conversation, he does not. He is not worthy of the GOAT conversation. I have him in my top 20. He is somewhere between 15 and 20. I think that there are a plethora of players that I would put above him, because they are exemplary players. They are basically what you look for in an NBA player. They are what you look for in a superstar. It is what you expected of an NBA superstar. They reach a certain standard. LeBron James does not. If you do not reach that certain standard, you do not get that praise. I mean, this era is so bad, even internationally, we took a dip. We went from the Dream Team beating teams by 60 by halftime to losing in the FIBA World Cup, in the FIBA Worlds, losing in the Olympics. I mean, there's no way that we should be coming back from the Olympics with bronze medals, knowing that we created the game, knowing that we perfected the game, and we are being outdone by European players because we do not love the game anymore. Now the game has the best players are now foreign players. Look at the players now. In this era, America, thanks to players like LeBron James and James Harden and Kevin Durant, we lost the global fight. We lost our global standing in the world. The best players right now. Look at the best players among the league. They're all foreign. Jokic, foreign. Uh, um, Luka, foreigner. Gilchrist, over there in OKC, he's Canadian. He's not from here. You have Giannis, not from here. You feel me? You have Wemby, not from here. He's gonna be Rookie of the Year, not from here. You have I mean, shoot, heck, look at Jokic, MVP. He's running. They're running things. That's just five. That's just five players that I just named. I could have gone on. I could have gone on further. The American basketball player has taken a step back. What made us special is what is has lost now. It's lost now. It's now become a league that is soft thanks to the commissioner. that allows all these European players to come over here, because there once was a time where it was tough for a European player to come over here. If you was a dog, if you was a European player and you succeeded over here in the 90s, you was a true dog. You were a true dog. See, I don't know. I don't know. And now, like Jokic, like I said, Jokic would be great on the offensive, but I think on the defensive, he would be a liability. Same with Luka. And I think that's why I give pause to a lot of these European players, and exactly how I gauge how great they really are, because I think because of the rules of today is why why a lot of these guys are benefiting, because before these rule changes, these European players were not coming in here dominating. They weren't. For every Drazen Petrovic and Dirk Nowitzki, you had a plethora of Dino Rajas. For every Tony Kukoc you had man, I mean, you had, what was that guy from, I forget, the kid from China, who was here, who's supposed to be like the follow up to Yao Ming. I forget his name, but he was grand opening, grand closing. I think his name was Yang or Chang or whatever his name is. I forget his name, but you have guys like that. I believe that this era really truly dropped the ball. This era really took basketball in America, basketball in the NBA, and its global reputation took a serious hit, because players such as these were the leaders of this era, and look at the damage that they've done. It is time for them to leave. It's appropriate that you're seeing these guys not only getting beat, but getting embarrassed and booted out the playoffs. And hopefully in time, the NBA will do the same. I really truly believe that the league needs to move on. The faster that we get these entitled players from this era that we're transitioning from, the faster we get these guys up out of here, the better. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Because I truly believe that these guys are a blight upon the game. I truly believe that these guys do not exemplify what Jordan, Magic, Larry have built and cultivated and raised to highest heights that we have never seen. We really had stewards of the game, such as Reggie Miller, Patrick Ewing, Charles Barkley, Penny Hardaway, Grant Hill, Jason Kidd. We had so many: Alonzo Mourning, Tim Hardaway, Chris Mullin. I can go on and on and on. These guys, Kevin Johnson, guys who really gave their all to the game, and the game repaid them. And to this day, we still talk about these guys. We still talk about these guys. We still hold these guys in high regard. I believe that this era that we are transitioning from will not be on the same level. They will not be on that same tier. I think this whole era that we're transitioning from has been and will always be a black eye towards the NBA, and they need to be out of here as soon as possible. And the sooner that they're gone, I think the better the game will be. And that's just my opinion. And right there, we'll close right there. I'd like to thank you all for checking in, tuning in, kicking it with your boy. As we kick a little bit of knowledge, kick a little basketball talk around. I definitely thank you all for tuning in. Like I keep saying, man, bring in those questions. Question and answer segment on Wednesday. So you already know what that is, baby. Man, definitely want to give a shout out to all the hoop heads out there. We starting off this week off strong. You already know what it is tonight. Hopefully tonight we'll see a gentleman sweep, and we'll see a certain flop king get sent down to Cancun. You already know his bum ass friend Draymond is right there in his villa waiting on him. So hopefully Jokic and company will usher him on out the league. I'm sure he'll have something nice for us in the press conference, such as a fake injury or retirement talk or whatever kind of BS excuse that he has ready for us tonight. So with that being said, all my hoop heads, you guys have a great evening. Love on the babies, love on your loved ones. You know what I'm saying? Be good people out there. Be safe. Don't do nothing stupid out there. Be responsible. And with that being said, it's your boy Skinny Hardaway, and this is another Retro Heat Check episode in the books. And with that being said, I'll leave you with these words. Peace, and wear your sneakers.